Hey rockers, happy weekend, man, and welcome to Sunday night. Yeah, I can't believe the weekend's already over, man. Seems like it just freaking started. I just got back in from hosting my Church of Rock radio show, and I thought of another story idea for tonight. Going back to the year 2016. Wow, time is flying, man. Going back to Jacksonville, Oregon to visit a band called the LENNON CLAYPOOL Delirium, featuring Sean Ono Lennon and Les Claypool of Primus. What a killer show. It was at the Britt Fest, like I say, Jacksonville, Oregon on July 22nd, 2016. Now, one of my big regrets for this show is that my daughter Audrey actually went to meet those guys, and for some reason I didn't want to go or I had something to do. I dropped her off in Jacksonville, got maybe a half hour away, and she called me and said, "Hey, you can come pick me up now. I've already met Sean and Les, got a photo with them." I'm like, you got to be kidding me, man. And I saw that photo tonight, and I asked her, why in the hell wasn't I with you? She said, you didn't want to go. I'm like, wow, what an idiot. So when I saw the picture of my daughter with Sean Lennon and Les Claypool, I was a little bit envious because I was right there and I could have met him. But I digress. So I'm a big fan of John Lennon. I'm a big fan of Primus. I'm a big fan of Sean Lennon's solo stuff. And when these guys said they were playing Jacksonville, I couldn't wait to go, man. The only regret I have, besides not meeting those guys, is not eating some psychedelic shrooms. Because I'm telling you, even though it's not necessary to have things like that, it sure does enhance it. And I kept thinking out throughout the whole show, why in the hell didn't I eat some shrooms? It was a perfect show for that, man. But again, I digress, man. Sean and Les, by the way, are both geniuses. These guys are extraordinary musicians, some of the best in the world. Primus is fantastic, of course. Les's bass and writing skills are unmatched, one of a kind. Very eccentric guy, eccentric as can be, really, with talent for days, talent for weeks, talent for eons. Yeah, man, anyone that's a big fan of Les Claypool knows I'm not exaggerating, man. Sean Lennon, by the way, classifies the LENNON CLAYPOOL Delirium as being progadelic. So it's prog rock, but it's psychedelic, so progadelic. Cool little invention of a word there, Sean. The band was conceived in 2015. Most of the songs at this show were songs from their Monolith of Phobos album, which is the very first album by the LENNON CLAYPOOL Delirium. That was released June the 3rd, 2016. They did some covers at the show and some of the stuff from their own catalogs, but mainly it was material they had written together, which was cool. Overall, the show was very surreal, very whimsical, very psychedelic, eccentric, and again, the whole band, ultra talented, man. Les Claypool was on the bass and vocals, Sean Ono Lennon on guitar and vocals. Also, he's in a band called Ghost of a Saber-Toothed Tiger. What a great name, Ghost of a Saber-Toothed Tiger. So for those of you that are Sean Ono Lennon fans, you probably already know that. I've never heard him. Wow, I'm going to check them out. Also on keyboards, they had a wizard on the keyboards. This guy had really long hair. He had a top hat, a cape on, and I looked like a bunch of weird makeup on his face. He looked like he stepped out of Son of Svengoolie. Really trippy dude, man. The whole band was very eccentric and cool. I believe the guy's name is, don't slap me if I get it wrong, João Nogueira. João Nogueira, something like that. But he was a killer keyboard player, and he's in a band called Stone Giant. And on the drums that night from the band Cake was Paulo Baldi. I don't know. I think they have a different lineup now. I think they have a different drummer, perhaps. I'm not sure. Maybe that's Primus. I don't remember. But I do have the actual set list, and I'm going to share with you some of the stuff that absolutely happened on that stage that night in Jacksonville, Oregon. Again, I don't know why in the hell never mind. Didn't eat the, you know what, never mind. This is not the exact set list as far as the order of songs, but it's the songs they played that night. Basically, Les Claypool comes out with this cool hat on, and whenever the certain lights hit him, it looked like he was wearing all purple, but it wasn't. He just had a different kind of a I'm not sure what colored suit, like brown and dark colors, but in those lights, it looked like it was bright purple. It was cool. Sean Ono Lennon came out with this cool blue hat on, totally rock and roll looking with his glasses, his long hair, and his beard. On the drum head, there was a picture of like a moon with a face on it. It's the same picture that's on the first cover album that they did, the first Lennon Claypool Delirium album. It's a big moon with a head on it and face. Very cool graphics. They did the song Animals, and Sean did great vocals, man. Really good stuff on the song Animals. He actually came out and said, "Hey guys, what's up?" And he said, what did he say? He said, "I just want to say what's up, and I'm so lucky to be in this band. I have a lot of fun. Thank you." And then they busted into the song Animals. Now, a lot of this show consisted of Sean doing a lot of the lead vocals. Not all of them, but a majority. So after the beautiful, dreamy song called Animals, which is apparently from his other band, they did a song also called Oxycontin Girl, which is really good. There's a lot of really weird time signatures in a lot of these songs, a lot of time structures that are not predictable. Of course, Les up there plucking the bass, notes and slapping the bass. Sean Lennon with killer vocals. After Oxycontin Girl, they did Breath of a Salesman. Great song title there. They did Crickets of the Genie, which was awesome. And then they did, at one point, Les Claypool says, "This song is called Running with the Devil by Sean Lennon." Pretty funny stuff. Les looked like he was playing a stand-up bass. I'm not sure if it was a stand-up bass or not, but Sean was fantastic on the guitar. Again, the keyboards were just like wizardry stuff going on, man. They did a tune called Boomerang Baby. They did a song called Captain Lariat. After a song or two, actually, Les Claypool came out and he says, "Hello, people of Jacksonville. I'm Edward Van Halen." And then Sean Lennon on the other mic says, "And I'm, what did he say? I'm Neil Diamond." That's what he said. That was pretty funny. These guys are eccentric and talented. The crowd was packed. The crowd was enthusiastic and probably quite high. Well, let's face it. You can get high off music. You don't need substances to get high. But in my book, they do enhance it sometimes, and I'm not a big substance guy, but psychedelics, I'm in. Yep, love the psychedelics, man, even at this age. They are good for the head, and they've been proven to be the only natural and permanent lasting cure for depression. Yep, you can look it up. Anyway, after they did Captain Lariat, they did Mr. Right. They did a tune called Bubbles Burst, which was dark and chill, really dark and chill. The hairs were standing up at the back of my neck kind of during that song. Yet I kept saying to myself, why didn't you eat the... Never mind. My friends, take a moment to subscribe to the channel if you would. Give this video a like if you would, a thumbs up, and leave a comment if you feel so inclined. After Bubbles Burst, they did a tune called Oh America. So instead of America, it's Oh America. Pretty trippy, very trippy drums and bass going on during that song. Then they did something that surprised me, which was really cool. They did a cover from the very first Pink Floyd album, Piper at the Gates of Dawn. Yeah, they did Astronomy. Is it Damine or Damani? Either way, they did Astronomy Damine, one of my very favorite Pink Floyd songs of all time. Just a beautiful tune and a great eccentric cover of that song. Just a huge fan of the Syd Barrett era Pink Floyd, so it was nice to hear those guys doing that stuff. They did a Beatles cover too, man. They did a Beatles cover, which was really cool. It was very ambient, psychedelic lighting. Sometimes it was very lit up, other times very dark and like purple and blacks and reds. But they went into Tomorrow Never Knows, a very long version of it, maybe 8 minutes. Sean Lennon doing his dad's parts on the vocals, and man, I gotta tell you, I don't like people that continually compare him and Julian Lennon to their father. But I gotta say, there was many times during the show that Sean Ono Lennon literally, hauntingly almost, sounded just like his dad. I'm sure it wasn't on purpose, but it's in the genetics, man. But yeah, can't say enough about Sean Ono Lennon. A big fan of his music for sure. Tomorrow Never Knows. The band absolutely nailed it. Sean nailed it. It was great. These guys all ended up doing another song. I think it was called Xanadu. I think that was it. At the end of the set, it was cool because Les just left the stage, puts his guitar down, and it's on like a looping sound. So it's got this weird looping effect happening, even though he's off the stage, right? Sean Lennon does the same thing. He runs off. Both of these guys tip their hats, by the way, when they leave the stage. The keyboard player eventually walked off. He tipped his hat, and the drummer was there all alone. Eventually, he stood up, he tipped his hat, and they were gone. And all these trippy lights were happening. And the looping was going on. And I kept thinking, why aren't I tripping? No, I'll shut up about that now. That's getting annoying even to me. The guys did come out and they did an encore. And the guys were joking back and forth a lot on stage. Sean and Les went back and forth. Very easygoing banter on the stage with these guys. They were having a lot of fun, for sure, man. For the encore, they came out and did a song called Southbound Pachyderm, which is a Primus song. The guys came out, patted each other on the back, kind of like, hey, let's go ahead and get this encore done, guys. Let's rock and roll. So they got into the last song. It was great. A total Charlie and the Chocolate Factory vibe happening with this band. I looked it up. I guess it wasn't intentional, but there was a lot of vibes that looked like and reminded me of like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I can't really explain it. Anybody else feel that way about these guys? I thought they did a tour maybe that was even based on that. Maybe I'm wrong. Fill me in if I'm wrong. I don't know. I remember seeing Primus a couple years after this, and I'll do a story about that. And I think that might have been a Chocolate Factory Willy Wonka themed tour. Maybe that's what I'm confusing this over. Somebody fill me in. I know somebody knows, man. I love it when you guys can fill me in on stuff that my old brain forgets once in a while, you know. It happens, man. There was a lot of Indian, sort of Eastern Indian flavored instrumental rhythms going on during the show, which I really dig. You know, I mean, I'm into the Eastern Indian stuff a lot. I love the philosophies behind a lot of the Hindu and Buddhist cultures. You know, I embrace the wisdom of a lot of that stuff, and it's good stuff. But I don't have any particular religion or anything like that. As a matter of fact, on my latest album, Dark Days Unfazed, I have a song called My Religion is Love. So there you go. Yeah, I don't really prescribe to anything, but I do like to sample and take the wisdoms from all the great teachings and apply them to my life. Yes, I do. What else did I want to say to you guys? I think that's about it, man. These guys ended up playing the show. Everybody was drained because a lot of their songs are long, kind of like psychedelic jam band tunes with weird time signatures. Personally, I love that stuff, man. But I was drained just because it was just a lot to take in visually, musically, well, kind of spiritually in a weird way. My friends, I appreciate you listening to the ramblings of a foolish rocker in Southern Oregon. I'm going to come back tomorrow with another tale. What am I going to tell you about? I have no clue. I usually don't know until about an hour before I do it. I just kind of go through my list of about 1,000 ideas and think, here's something I could talk about. I try to bring a balance to the channel so it's not just this or that. Try to keep everyone happy. Thanks for being here, man. Again, thanks for subscribing. I appreciate all you rockers out there. And I really do appreciate the ones that make comments and go back and forth. We are a tribe of weirdos, but in a good way. We're all happy crazy. Yeah. There's happy crazy and sad crazy. We're happy crazy. Cheers.